Hello there, folks, and welcome to the Wide Boyz Show again. It is Pete here, and Tom is joining me in a minute, but I'm just sat here doing a little introduction. Before we get into today's main topic, I thought I would let you know, I guess, what's been going on. And the thing that has been going on in our world at the moment, in the world of Wide Boyz, is Crackfest. I've basically just come back from Crackfest this weekend, and honestly, it was a fantastic event. Really, really good. I mean, I can't believe it. It's actually the sixth year we have now done Crackfest, and we've done 7 Crackfest events altogether. Because last year we actually did 2 events. We did one in Sheffield and we did one in Dortmund. I think the thing that really, I just get really psyched about is these with Crackfest is just the energy level and psych that people bring to the event. It's really turned into this place gathering community event which brings all the really, really psyched crack climbers together, or the people that are really, really psyched on learning about crack climbing or trying crack climbing. And yeah, it just makes me realize like how much energy and enthusiasm there is within this community. And I really think it's this event that it makes me realize and helps me keep going with this whole this whole like crack thing that there's like loads of you guys out there who are all like pushing for the same thing, wanting more cracks, wanting to do more crack climbing, wanting to learn more, share crack climbing with more people. Yeah, just basically just taking the whole crack climbing genre forwards. So yeah, first of all, thank you very, very much to everybody that came, everybody that joined, everybody that jammed, everybody that stacked. There were a few stacks in there, chicken winged, all that kind of stuff. Everybody that came, it was just basically, it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, me and Tom had an amazing time. We always love seeing you guys. There's actually nowadays we really recognize people that have come to many of the events. I think there's people there that have been to like 4 or 5 of the crack fests. So there's some like proper regulars there. So it's always really nice to see some familiar faces coming back and yeah, just enjoying the jamming. We had some different things at this year's Crackfest. One of my highlights was the new Rugny challenge. So that was a hand stack challenge, but instead of just doing a hand stack yourself, you found your favorite climbing partner, let's say, and one person did the hands of the stack and one person did the fists of the stack, and then you did like a double hang, and that definitely really created some some really quite funny moments. So yeah, it was like me and Tom set a time. I think yeah, I did the fists and then Tom did the hands because yeah, I love fist jams and Tom's good at hand jams. So we went that way around, and yeah, it was quite funny because you know which way do you go? Do you go face to face or do you go back to back or do you like spoon each other on the crack? Yeah, it was quite funny. There was some very good moments. So yeah, me and Tom set a time, and then the crack festers tried to beat the time. And yeah, there were just some great try hard efforts in there. So that was definitely a good highlight for me. I always like a good new challenge as well. So we always try and implement one new challenge at least at every Crackfest just to try and keep things fresh. Of course, we had the regular challenges there as well, which was the squeeze box. I think me and Tom are just getting worse at this every single year. We're absolutely appalling at it. It's hilarious. It's quite funny. So we did the same thing again, and where we set a time, and then the Crackfesters try and beat us. And Tom set a time this year. It was like 18 seconds in the box. It was absolutely atrocious. It was brilliant. It was so good. And then we literally just got beaten straight away. But that's always good. Shows the strength of the Crackfesters, and it's always good to like give out prizes and give out some money and all that kind of stuff. And then of course we had the Crack of War again, which was brilliant. Always builds up a good amount of energy. People just love this challenge as well. Basically, it's like there's this box on the table and it's on like a sliding system, and it's like a tug of war. You put your hand in the box, and then your opponent puts their hand in the box on the opposite side of the table, and then you try and pull this box towards you, and you know it's the one that can pull it, so it reaches your side of the table. It always ends up in some like really like full on battles. I mean, luckily this year I didn't get completely destroyed. Last year, I ended up going for so long on this crack of war until I was beaten that honestly, for like a week afterwards, I was like you guys completely destroyed me. I was honestly destroyed. I had to take like 4 days off climbing, and then I remember going to the gym and then trying to have like a normal board session, and I could still feel muscles in my body that were working that I didn't even know existed, just because I'd not strained, but like worked every inch and ounce of muscle in my body doing this crack of war thing. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Last year, if I'd had a climbing trip straight after Crackfest, I was going from Crackfest onto a climbing trip, it would have just been completely pointless. It would have been game over. I wouldn't have been able to do anything. I just could barely move afterwards. So that was a good effort by you guys. You completely wrecked me, which was fantastic. It's always good. I always like a good challenge. Luckily, this year, actually, me and Tom got beaten a lot quicker, so I didn't end up completely ruining myself. So that was good, and it shows the standard of people's strength and quality of jams and all that kind of stuff is improving. So yeah, that's actually one thing that I would say, that the standard of jamming has massively improved since we did our first ever Crackfest in 2020 to now in 2026. I feel like if we'd set the bowl of problems that had been in the 2020 Crackfest, we would have maybe got like half of the competitors or field or participants taking part would have got up everything, which just really goes to show the way that crack climbing is going and the standard is improving, and the depth and breadth of knowledge and ability has really moved up in the last 6 years. Good effort to everybody. Anything else to say on that? Yeah, I guess thanks everybody for coming along. Thanks for all the sponsors, and thanks to Boldvelt as well for hosting and creating such a good event. Oh, and also to the winners as well, to the new Crack King and the new Crack Queens. Well done to everybody there. So yeah, some amazing performances, really, really good jamming across the weekend. Good support all round. We're looking forward to next year already, and we can't wait to see some familiar faces coming back and hopefully some new faces coming in and trying crack climbing for the first time. We've already got some sort of new ideas bubbling, which is going to be good for the new crack climbers coming in and also the higher end crack climbers. So yeah, we want to try and make the festival better and better year on year, and to cater for all levels and all abilities. So new ideas and new thoughts already bubbling, and we can't wait to see you all there next year. So thank you once again. And now I think we will move on to today's topic, which is an interesting one. And it is all about whether, sort of like, what is legit? Like, we use crack gloves, we use knee pads, we use climbing shoes. When do these things count as aid? When are they not aid? What is the purest form of ascent? What is acceptable? What is not acceptable? How do we define when these things are acceptable? Because there's things that have become acceptable, like knee pads and crack gloves. They're quite accepted nowadays. But then there's some things which people go like, is that acceptable? Is it not acceptable? So in this conversation, me and Tom are kind of digging into that really, and what we think is legit in the world of crack climbing, what isn't legit. Is putting 2 pairs of shoes on your feet legit? Is it not? Who knows? Come and join us. Come and have a listen and see what we have to say. Okie dokie, folks. Take it away with this episode.
I've been waiting until I'm in the sandstone towers, better than getting out the shower. Then I'm gonna check the old grades, because the old grades will fail. This is the way I'm climbing in the Czech Republic.
Righty, folks, here we are. Tom is on the other end of the call to me. And before we tuck into today's discussion, Tom, let's just have a quick catch up. What's been going on? Because you've been away in Angola. I don't know what I've been doing, but you've been doing something interesting. So you should tell basically, I can't remember what I've been doing, so it probably can't be that interesting. But you've been doing something interesting, so I think it's worth telling the folks what's been going on at your end. Because it's been quite a cool project which you've been on. And I think it's I think it's nice to share with people. So go for it. Hit them up.
Yeah. Well, I just got back from Angola at the weekend that just passed. Actually, I met you in Italy straight after that when we were doing some stuff with La Sportiva. I was out in Angola, sort of reasonably central Angola, for about 2 weeks, working with, I suppose, two organizations in a way. Climbing for a Reason, which I think a lot of people know about if they follow their account on Instagram, and then another organization, Climb Angola. And what it is, essentially a way for volunteers to travel to Angola, where there's like amazing, adventurous climbing that's fully off the beaten track. You're really going out proper adventure style climbing. You get into areas where there's no running water, there's no electricity, maybe less than 0.1% of the population in these areas have a mobile phone. It's kind of really quite unconnected with the world. And through the lens of climbing, you're essentially giving your time and some fundraising to these areas to work with the kids that are local to parts of Angola to give them access to climbing, which is a way to connect with others, to learn something new. A lot of them don't go to school all the time, so it's also something which kind of contributes to their lives in a positive way. And also you're able to do work with the local schools and communities out there to give your time to create some kind of sustainable, lasting benefits to the area. So it's quite different, I think, to some climbing charitable causes where you go in and you sort of helicopter style fly in, try and do something cool, but then there's no lasting effect within the area. This thing is set up so that it works year on year. It connects those who want to travel to the area with locals in the area that want to have something which slowly grows over time. And that's the thing that I've been most psyched about, is that you're not just impacting 5 people's lives or 10 people's. It's quite a lot, because there's an absolute ton of kids out there. They're dead keen on climbing, and you get to have something which potentially lasts for years and years, isn't just writing a check to people, which I think is an interesting way of doing this kind of NGO style of work.
Just for the people that are listening, is it possible for them to get involved anyway? Or how, like, if somebody was looking like, oh, this sounds cool, or if they want to find out more, well, obviously they go to like Climbing for a Reason on Instagram is a good place to find out more. And then if they wanted to do something extra, or they like the idea, is it possible for other people to get involved, or can they send climbing gear, or how does it kind of work in that sense?
Yeah, so this is the really good thing about it, is that literally everyone and anyone can get involved. You do it through both Climbing Angola, which is at Climbing Angola on Instagram, and then Climbing for a Reason. Those two kind of work together as an organization, and you simply contact them and say, I'm thinking about traveling to this at this time of the year for this amount of time. How can I contribute? How can I go and work with the kids? And they'll explain to you how you go to the area, how you travel, how you do the logistics. And then it's simply, in many ways, like a freestyle trip that you work it out how you want to. So you could go to the region and you could only work with the schools if you wanted to. You could also go to the region and mostly do your own adventurous first ascenting and putting up new routes in the area, and then occasionally climbing with the other kids. Or you could spend, like us, every single day climbing with the kids if you wanted to. I would say I probably did 90% belaying and 10% of my own climbing. But I loved it. That's what I wanted to go there to go and do. Anyone listening, it's really, I would summarize it as being, do you like working with kids? Do you like adventurous climbing? And do you like something which is really flexible, that you don't have to essentially kind of follow the rules of it? It's not a very prescriptive thing. And you want to do something which gives back in climbing a little bit. And that's it. The best thing is you come up with the ideas, you work out how you want to do things, and you can sort of bring it to reality. So we went over a load of climbing shoes and harnesses, some more bolts for kit out there, a new drill, sort of provide more actual resources for people to climb. But likewise, you don't have to go and take that stuff out, but they're both really grateful. You could go over with a load of school books if you wanted to. There's lots of different ways to do things.
So you could go over and, well, like you did, just spend your whole time doing stuff with the kids and doing stuff with the group and all that side of things, or you could do a mixture of going out, doing that, and doing your own climbing or whatever. I'm guessing there's loads of other climbing that you can go and do around there and exploring. And you'd probably say you have to be like quite the adventurous type or something, into maybe something a little bit different if you are going to give it a go and see what it's like.
It's definitely quite adventurous. Typical first ascenting, you know, there's bits of loose rock around and you've got to be a little bit careful about things. If you're going to be bolting ground up, that's always a little bit more committing in that style. But it's very, and I kind of expected this even before I went on the trip. I thought it was going to be quite flexible to what happens. It's like, it's one of those trips where you can kind of do it on the fly and work things out on a day by day basis. And that's really nice, because I think a lot of people have expectations about how these things work out. And as it really turns out, it's just turn up, give your time, be psyched, enjoy the country, enjoy the people, share a load of climbing with other people. And I'm pretty much guaranteeing you will not walk away from a trip out there and think, this is one of the most incredible things I've done. So it's really cool. I'm definitely going back for sure. Yeah.
And also, when I saw you the other day when we were chatting about it, you also mentioned about meeting a Angolan Alex Honnold.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about that, or tell the folks about that. Like what was going on?
Yeah, I'll have to send you the photo of him like 2/3 of the way up this pitch of a new thing that we'd bolted. Basically, just above the village where we spent a lot of the time climbing, there's this like mini half dome, which is about a 7-pitch, multi-pitch granite dome, but slabby vert. Up one side on the ridge is a really straightforward route, which is very run out bolts. It's kind of like a snake dike, you know, that kind of climbing. You're on your feet. Some of it feels like almost like you could walk, but you've got to really have your head switched on. It feels adventurous. It's relatively sustained because it's just slab climbing. We climbed it with some of the kids on one of the days. The next day, we're at the crag at the base doing some single pitch stuff and doing some new routes. And I hear some shouting above me, and I look up and I can see this guy at like pitch 4, and he's kind of traversed off this multi-pitch onto just random terrain. He's looking down on the routes that we're bolting, kind of just shouting down to the other kids. I'm like, what? Why is there someone up there? It doesn't look like he's got a rope on. And then I hear more and more of the kids get excited, and they start talking about, holy crap, there's someone who's just decided to go and solo this route. If anyone knows Half Dome and Snake Dykes, not hard climbing, really easy, like VS or whatever. But it is quite committing to on-site solo with no chalk in bare feet, that kind of route, and also to down climb as well. So I think I saw him get up to maybe pitch 6 on the route before he kind of was out of view. So I can't tell actually if he completely topped out, but he definitely did the majority of the route.
So that's like 200 meters, maybe.
Yeah, easily 200 meters. Probably no, because the pitches were really long. The pitches were mostly like 50 meters long. Yeah, so big pitches, and yeah, and then he just down climbed it again. And then at the end, he was just messing around on the terrain where we bolted this new single pitch route, and he was just soloing around on it with the most chilled soloing I think I've ever seen, apart from Alex maybe, which is why he stood out. Like the first time that I ever met Alex, I was climbing on the rostrum with a rope, of course, and he just solos up beneath, and we were on maybe pitch 5, and he just stops mid-pitch. I think he kind of like put in a chicken wing or something like that, and just sat there for 10 minutes talking to us whilst we were tidying up the belay, and looked so chill. And this was probably back in 2004, maybe before Alex was really even known. I think that was maybe the first or second time he'd ever climbed the rostrum solo. It really stood out to me then of, this is someone who's really unique. And this kid out there, or guy, that we saw in Angola was similar. So I kind of hope that I'm seeing him again next year, because I want to get him climbing properly.
Did you actually speak to him?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Did he know of Alex?
No, I'd say my Portuguese wasn't good enough to get to that level of conversation.
Okay.
It was more like I was just asking him whether he did lots of soloing, how long he'd been climbing for, had he done it before, did he want to go climbing?
And what were his kind of answers to that?
Every now and again goes climbing. He doesn't think he's a proper climber. He just solos around in general.
But he was just so confident, even though he doesn't actually do it that much.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange. Yeah.
Honestly, Pete, if you saw him, you'd be really impressed.
previously when I've seen people like that, I mean, we mentioned it again the other day, when you've seen people soloing that are not actually climbers or whatever, sometimes they're like these tree climbers and it's their path to actually getting food or going up into those beehives in the trees and like, I don't know, they're just doing some like gnarly tree solos to get to these beehives or get whatever. But I just wondered whether there was a point in him actually going soloing, like he needed to get somewhere to go for the soloing, or it's just like, oh no, I'm just going soloing and I just do it like once a week or something, or you know, a few times a month, or I don't know. It just seems really kind of random that he enjoyed doing that. Nobody else was doing it, but there was no real reason of why he was doing it.
Not that I could work out. I mean, I think he occasionally did it when visitors would come in from the outside and they'd be out climbing. And I think he would just turn up and maybe do a bit of climbing around them. There's certainly no farming food resources climbing up the rock faces out there. But there are some trees which have some fruits which are a valued resource. I noticed that they put these little kind of pegs, like mini wooden pegs, and drilled them into the trees and then climbed up the pegs to be able to get up these trunks of the trees, because the trunks are just massive, massive fat trunks, so you can't really get your arms around them. I had a little kind of go on some of these pegs. I was like, oh my God, this is so insecure, and felt very snappy, not very safe. And I wonder whether maybe he's
done a lot of that.
Yeah, he's maybe done a lot of scary tree climbing, and maybe that's where the mentality comes from.
Yeah, because it seems strange that I know for me, for example, then like I have to have been doing a lot of, like it helps to have been doing stuff like that on the gritstone or wherever it might be, like for a number of days or months or years, you know, before you actually feel that kind of comfortable. So it just seems really odd. Maybe he just doesn't do it that much, but then he's still able to just go up like 6 pitches and then he's absolutely fine.
Well, you know, like that thing when someone's soloing and let's say they do a rock over on a hold, like a really high foot rock over. And once they rock their foot on and they start pressing out of the move, when you're soloing and you're like 40 meters, you generally put another hand on something else just to kind of be the secure backup, just in case you have a weird foot slip when you're rocking over. He was at that casual level where he just took both hands off and just rocked up like he was 1 foot off the ground and didn't give a fuck. That level of extreme calmness.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah, I wonder what it'd be like if you gave him a pair of shoes and took him out climbing. Did he do any rope climbing with you guys, or had he done any before?
No, he wasn't interested in it.
He wasn't really?
No, but we were kind of rushed actually on that particular day, so it wasn't a great day for me to kind of push it. But when I go back out again, I'm definitely hunting him down. I want to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe you find it really scary on a rope because he's so used to the do not fall thing.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. A good trip all around.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, really good. But yeah, anyone who likes the sound of it, have a look on some of the recent posts that I put on my Instagram, and then Climbing for a Reason and Climb Angola pages both have loads of stuff on there in terms of what it looks like, how to get involved and things.
Good stuff. Hello, just a quick one before we get on to what I've been up to. I want to remind you that our new Master Jam crack gloves are in stock, and also for EU customers and USA customers, you can now buy them without having to pay customs and duties into Europe or into the USA. And this is because for EU customers, we have them stocked in our Netherlands warehouse. And for USA customers, we have teamed up with Bold Climbing, and they are now distributing Wide Boyz products over in America, which means the Master Jam gloves ship from inside the States to you. So if you do want a new pair of Master Jam gloves, if you're in the EU or you're in the USA, the shipping is cheaper and the customs and duties is already covered by us. So if you're in one of these places, then all you need to do is just go onto our website, wideboyz.com, and then the website will calculate your shipping based on your address, and you'll be able to get domestic shipping charges. So yeah, we're really psyched to get the Master Jam crack gloves out to as many people as we can. We're really psyched on these gloves. So if you are keen on trying them, then nip over to our website, grab a pair, and we are looking forward to seeing you using them on your cracks and projects. Make sure you tag us on social media because we always love seeing what you're up to. Okie dokie, back to the show.
What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? It's a good question. What have I been up to? Well, actually, I'm going to Pakistan in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure when this podcast will come out. Maybe this podcast I'll actually put this podcast on like auto what do you call it, where you like set it in advance, scheduled. I'll put it on scheduled. So maybe I'm actually out there now as I'm talking about it. But anyway, you know what I mean? I could be out there now. I could be just like freezing.
How exciting for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But actually, on that trip, my plan is to, I mean, we're going to film some content. I think hopefully there'll be some kind of film afterwards, but I'm going to film some like little daily vlogs whilst I'm there, like audio recordings, so I can put it on this podcast. So it'll be like hanging in the portal-edge with Sean and Seba or whatever, and then I'll be able to get like Sean playing the flute or something like that. So so people can listen to that they have that to look forward to on the podcast. It can be great.
Oh, that'd be amazing. And how under wraps are your objectives?
I mean, they're not really under wraps. The plan is, actually, I might put this in a different podcast. I'm not going to put it in this podcast. I'll put it in a different one, because then I'll put it in the opener to, keep people.
Yeah, great teaser.
Yeah, teaser. That's the one, yeah. But basically, before the trip, I've actually been like doing some hiking or walking. Hiking? I'm not American. Walking, sorry. Walking and running. I've done a few runs recently,
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I haven't properly run since maybe we did that running, like way back in the day. I think that was just before we went to Century, actually. I think that was 2011, where we did that fell run, and then you nearly got injured right before we went on that trip. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
That was like, we'd done all that training, like 2 years, and then for some bizarre reason, well, I was going to do this fell run anyway, and then I obviously invited you along, and then you were keen to come and do it. And then I think you like tweaked your knee or something, didn't you?
Yeah,
or ankle.
I fell down in a really steep bit of heather and I hurt the side of my knee. Yeah, like the ACL type thing.
And this was like 2 weeks before we were going out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, I remember, because that fell run that we did in Edale, which was kind of local to me. I mean, I've not done many fell runs, but I always remember it as like people just absolutely like leathering it down the hill, like really fast, because there's heather, so you can go quite quick. Because of like the heather and the grassy tufts and all that kind of stuff, it's very easy to just go over an ankle or do your knee or something like that. That was a bit risky, wasn't it? In terms of a few weeks before, I'd probably be like a little bit more aware of what I was doing these days. Like maybe not do that and actually like take a little bit of care. But I really didn't think anything of it back then. I was just like, yeah, just bomb it.
I know, those are the days when we thought we were just totally indestructible, and even if you sustained a major injury, it'd be like, 2 weeks off, I'll be good again.
Yeah. I mean, your injury wasn't too bad, or did you still have a bit of an injury when we went out, or what was it?
No,
did it heal on the trip, or?
Yeah, so I think what happened was it actually ended up being that if I pulled my heels back, that was the more painful position, and it wasn't the kind of frogging
off-width thing, wide pony thing
position that was quite as bad. So in a way, I got lucky that the particular knee position that I used was not the one for crack climbing, and then I think it just slowly fixed up during the trip, and didn't get further aggravated.
Just like we spent so long training, and then 2 weeks before you do your knee in a fell race.
Yeah,
it's like we weren't even doing any running. It's like such a pointless thing, isn't it?
You were fit though. I remember you did really well on that race.
Yeah, I'd been running a little bit. I had been running a little bit. I don't think this really helps for off-width thing, but I've been doing some like cardiovascular work for that trip, just for the off-width thing. I think I've been going running once a week, not like loads, just once a week or something. But anyway, so I've done a couple of runs recently. Not loads, I've been on a few. I haven't been going mad. But you know when you just get into something, I've been going up the hill at the back of our house, and initially I was just like walking up and doing quick walks, and then you get a time, and then you're like, oh, I'll do it a little bit quicker. So then you start like, you run just a little bit, and then you're like, oh, right, yeah, I've done it a little bit quicker now. And then suddenly you're just like all out, just like flipping, go for it. It just ends up in this position where you're just like, okay, right, I'm fully running now. And then the last one I went on, I had like some running, it was quite cold. I had my like running tights and then shorts over the top. And I was like,
oh, amazing. You're getting addicted.
Yeah. No, but I'll finish after we finish this expedition. So yeah. It's not good for my knees.
Yeah, it is a bit funny. I think it depends on who you are as a person and how good your knees are with those types of things. Like everyone has their, like me with my fingers for climbing. Forever a nightmare, always through my whole climbing career, having my fingers. But then when I was running, I never had problems on my knees, really. They were always...
No, because you did a good amount of running like a few years back, didn't you? And you didn't have any problems with it.
Didn't have issues with it. But I think it's just biomechanics, isn't it, and things.
Do you remember when we did that Brown and Willans challenge in the Peak District? So all the Joe
yeah.
Brown and Don Willans routes in the Peak District.
Yeah.
And there was like 130 of them across however many different, 15 different crags, say. And we had to like run, I think it was basically running a marathon, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Something like that.
An off-road marathon.
An off-road marathon in between all of this. And had you done any training before this?
I think I had, yeah, because I always quite liked a bit of running.
Yeah, because I hadn't done much. And then it was basically that turned my knees. My knees have never been the same again. It was absolute nightmare. For anybody that's listening, me and Tom did this challenge in the Peak District. I guess it was maybe 10 years ago now, 8 years ago. It's quite a long time ago. But basically all these sort of like 1950s and 1960s sort of routes, 60s probably, wasn't it? By Joe Brown and Don Willans.
Yeah, apart from that flipping E6 that we had to do at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That wasn't a very enjoyable start.
No, it wasn't. But basically all these historic routes done by these two climbers, and they usually are quite gnarly in style. Even though the grade can be quite low, they often like pack a punch for the style. And yeah, we had to just take in loads of crags around the Peak District. Basically, the moral of the story was my knees at the end were absolutely obliterated. Like my arms were fine, and like the climbing was fine, but my flipping knees were destroyed. But anyway, they're all right now. I don't do off-road marathons off the couch anymore.
No.
So that's what I am up to very soon.
That'd be good. I guess you're going to have a whole big break off grid then, because that's probably in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. So I'll be off the grid for 8 weeks or something.
8 weeks. So is that going to be? That's going to be nearly 60 nights of me getting no good night text messages.
Yeah, no good night text messages. Yeah, no hearts or anything like that. So you're gonna have to just.
All right then, fine.
I'll have to get them from somebody else. Or what I could do is I could set them on schedule as well. Can you do WhatsApp schedules?
Oh, someone will have an API for that and get that to sort it out for us.
I mean, that would be pretty good if you could do WhatsApp schedules. I don't think you can though, can you?
Nah, I don't think so. Not that I know.
Or maybe if it's in the Meta thing.
Meta back office at whatsapp.com. The Zuckersphere.
Exactly, yeah. Right, we should get on to actual topics here. Okay, folks, so that is a sneak peek from one of our members-only podcasts. So if you are enjoying the chat and want to hear a little bit more and want to hear other members-only podcasts or ask us your questions and get them answered in our listeners' podcasts, then make sure to sign up to our members community and you can come and have a listen. Basically, I'll leave the link below. You can come in for free for the first 7 days. You can check it out, listen to the content we have. You could come in, listen to all the content and leave again. You can come and go as you please. But yeah, if you are psyched, then maybe you'll stay, come and join the community and come and have some chat with us. So yeah, if you're interested, I'll leave the link below and the rest of the conversation is in our members podcast. And there's loads of other stuff and unreleased podcasts in there as well. Speak soon and happy jamming. Goodbye.